But first, ahead of the May 29th election, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has signed off on a new law bringing in big changes to the rules about political funding. Opposition parties were against the bill, saying that it makes the system more opaque. But Cyril Ramaphosa says that it's in fact opening up the political space and levelling the playing field as it allows independent candidates to, once elected, access the multi-party democracy fund. Our Anne Wentzel breaks it all down for us.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has effectively amended the Political Party Funding Act to allow independent candidates to access the Multi-Party Democracy Fund once elected. This is the first time that independent candidates are contesting the South African national elections. But many parties have been calling the bill unconstitutional, as it essentially means that parties no longer have to report or keep records on how much funding they've received, which some fear means that limits are very unlikely to be followed. Critics fear this loss of transparency is the opposite of what South Africa's historically corruption-prone political landscape needs. Campaigns are expensive. A national campaign for the governing ANC or its rival, the DA, could easily run to around €3 million. And stakes are being ramped up ever higher ahead of the election on the 29th. The ANC has been the last party to release its campaign posters or T-shirts, doing so just about a week ago, pretty late in the game. Many have even voiced concern about the financial health of the ruling party. But the ANC says the delay in getting their campaign promo material out was because they needed more time to cover their national footprint, while also admitting that new legislation has made it much harder to raise funds.
Yes, there was a delay with the posters because of the size of the ANC branches. We're the only organization in South Africa with wall-to-wall presence everywhere. You know, the crunch in the economy is such of a nature that we have to budget a bit more prudently than before. And also, the limitations of the Party Funding Act requires that we generate income from within and that we rely on those that are prescribed in the legislation. Unlike before, where we could receive, 100 million rands from a benefactor, for example, in Scandinavia, our historic friends. I'm just using that as an example.
While the new act gives the president the power to set a new limit and threshold, he can only do so if instructed by Parliament.